So, what's going on, y'all? Back again. Today we are on what's this? The Elkhart River? Is that what this is?
Yes.
So this what's behind. I don't know if y'all can see that. So we're on the Elkhart River today. It's actually warm out today, as you can see. I'm back to wearing short sleeves, and I'm here with Martha. Say hello, Martha.
Hello, Martha.
And so me and Jenny are sitting here on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away, bored out our mind, and hungry. And shortly we're going to attempt to get something to eat. But in the meantime, since I was sitting here, I had a thought that maybe I would do the video about me and my cousin and the boat that we had. So, not all of my vehicles have been four wheels. A lot of them haven't been two wheels. Some of them, some of them didn't survive having one wheel. But anyway, so we used to have a boat. See, we got on this subject a second ago about crabs, and she was seeing crawfish in the water, and so I was telling her about, well, she was asking me about the crabs and stuff and how big they get back in DC and things. And so me and my cousin, we used to go crabbing. Uh, that is until the boat sunk. So what happened was,
Did it catch on fire before it sunk?
no, it didn't catch on fire. Yeah, this one didn't catch on fire. So me and my cousin, I used to have a cousin named Mo. He's passed now, but me and Mo used to do a lot of crazy things together. Well, we found this boat for free on Craigslist, and Mo used to go crabbing years back before, like, when he was a kid. He knew how to go crabbing and stuff. So we found a boat on Craigslist for free, and we should have known better than to go get it because, well, it was free, and it was a decent sized boat. And so we pulled it out to the ocean with my truck. To this day, I think it might have been a bit of illegal because we never registered the thing. In fact, we only went out one time with it. This story is only going to go south from here. So, so we just wanted to see if it would float, and it did for a little while. And we went out on the water. He put, I believe he put a piece of chicken or something on a thing and put it in the water. Because at this point, when it comes to the water, I become quite lazy. I just kind of fall asleep. And so we got out there on the water, and I'm lounging, as I'm so notorious for doing, that's another story I'll tell you in a second. But so we're lounging on the boat. I'm sitting up on the deck, just kind of chilling, knocked out, as usual. That's my normal thing to do whenever I'm on the water. So he comes, and about an hour into this trip of ours, now we're way out in the water. We're in the Chesapeake, and we out there. And we out there ways, and this thing's barely running, but we figure, hey, it was free. If we make it out and back, we good. Got the tools with us, we good to go. He wakes me up about an hour into this thing and says, I hear something underneath the boat. I said, yeah, you hear water and fish. That's what you hear. He said, man, I don't know. It sounds like something's underneath the boat. I said, Mo, ain't nothing underneath the boat, man. I'm going back to sleep. Let me know if we catch anything. So I dozed back off, because I can be quite stubborn when I'm tired. And so I dozed back off, and He wakes me up about an hour later and says, "Man, I hear something splashing downstairs, man." And I said, "What do you mean you hear something splashing?" He said, "Man, I hear something splashing. I don't know what it is, man, but we should probably get back to shore." I said, "Mo, man, ain't nothing downstairs splashing. We good, man. We good. We ain't nothing wrong with this thing." He said, "Man, it's leaning a little bit." I said, "Well, it's old. The boat is, 50 years old. I ain't worried about it leaning. We good." So I dozed back off. About 30 minutes later, he gets up, goes downstairs, gets something out the refrigerator. He comes back up, beer in hand, and wet feet. And he says to me, "There's water in the bottom of the boat." And I say to him, "Mo, don't worry, man. We good. We gonna start this thing up. We gonna head back to shore." Well, it didn't quite work out that way. I started the boat up. Well, yeah, so more or less, because I had to struggle to start it because it had a bad fuel pump. And the fuel pump was pretty much toast. And so, like I told you before, it was barely running when we set out to sea. And I was not very experienced with boats. And this is actually my first and my last experience with a boat. And it's probably going to stay that way. And so, at the time, I figured, well, it's an electric fuel pump. We should be good, And no, we weren't good. We were bad. We were really bad. And I had to struggle to get that bad boy started. And by the time I got it started, the water was about knee deep. I said, "Don't worry, man. We gonna run. We gonna get this thing going." And I got it started, and it was running, and it was and it was going kinda, and sorta, more or less, and it was cutting off, and sputtered. And we almost made it all the way to shore. Almost made it to shore. And about 15, 20 feet, maybe about 30 feet from shore, it decided to go down. It was all the way, well, so the engine stalled because the water had started getting inside of the engine. And we had enough momentum going to where we made it almost all the way, and no. So that was that for that. It was just a random thought, I guess, just because I was on the water and she was talking about crawfish, and that's the story of my boat that me and my cousin had. He was my favorite cousin. Now, the side note, so when I met my son's mother, no, let's go back before that. When I was in high school, I had this girlfriend.
Hello.
How you doing? And well, so she was with me during the time I graduated high school, and we went down to this place called Haynes Point, where you can rent paddle boats and things down in D.C. Well, we went out on the paddle boat, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep on the paddle boat in the middle of the water. I mean, we was out there for a minute, man. That was my first time being on a boat in the middle of the water. Sleep, I was knocked out, man. I mean, that was the best sleep I can remember having. Then when I met my son's mother, we did the same thing, thinking that it would be different, and it wasn't. I went out there, I left her paddling. I'm just gonna call it what it is. She knew, she didn't know, and I didn't either. And I was tired, man. I just went to sleep, and she was just. One day I had to tell you that story. It's hilarious. I ain't got that kind of time on my phone right now, though. But anyway, that was the story of that. Are you ready to get something to eat?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I'm hungry.
Me and Trina here, we're gonna go get something to eat. me and Renee, we're gonna go get something to eat. And what are we eating today?
Food.
We're eating food. That's what we're doing. All right, and that's that for that. If you like this video, if you like any of my videos, go ahead and like and subscribe. Do what she just did. Yes, that. And subscribe. If you don't like my videos, you know what you can do for me? Like and subscribe. Because you made it this far through the video, and eventually I'm going to say something that clicks. Eventually. Sooner or later, I'm going to get my ass out the sunken place and stuff. Alright, y'all. Well, anyway, if you want to get in contact with me, contact info is down there. Where's my hand? Is my hand in this thing? I can't see because of the sun. Well, it's down at the bottom somewhere. And if you want to donate, please do. Every penny helps, especially right now. That's not necessary. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Oh, look, that camper. That's what we need, the truck camper like that.
That's a big, huge one.
Yeah, that's one of them big, giant, I don't even know how them trucks be carrying them things. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later.